Yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Akudo Anime. Today, I think it's about time I actually give an honest review on update 1.5. I didn't really want to hurry up and release like here's the truth about Anime Vanguards update 1.5. You know, here's the goods and the bads. That's not really calling anybody out. I'm just saying I really like to take my time and dive into it. You know what I'm saying? Instead of like because for me, a first impression does not always equal like a first impression. You know what I'm saying? Like if I meet somebody, I'll give them like up to 3 like hangouts or like 3 like I'll give them like quote unquote 3 tries essentially, because you know sometimes you meet people on their good days or you meet people on their bad days. Now I feel like it's time to actually give my thoughts on Anime Vanguards update 1.5. But first, I would like to tell you guys, please go ahead and join the Discord. AJ is going to be doing another bedtime story pretty soon, and please like and subscribe. Yeah. Oh, also, I have channel memberships now. You guys have blessed me with monetization, so it's about time that I give back to you guys. There's a $1 tier, a $5 tier, and a $10 tier. Now at the $1 tier, you guys will get like a little shout out thingy, like some text or something at the end of every video, including this video. For tier 2, you guys will have like priority. Move out the way, Gojo. What are you doing, buddy? Yo, it's so accurate though. You guys will have priority matchmaking with me. What that basically means is whenever there's like a stream going on, I'll do my best to like, you know, add you and make sure that you guys get into the lobbies first. And then for the $10 tier, that's a good question, huh? Let me go check. And then the $10 tier does get a Discord role, so go ahead and do that, you know what I'm saying? And there's gonna be more tiers in the future. I don't really want to like lock my content behind you guys having to pay for it. The whole point of having somebody, the whole point of having like a YouTube channel is being able to connect with those in your community. So I don't think I'll ever put like content behind like a paywall per se. Let me know what type of perks I can give to you guys that you guys would be a big fan of. So yeah, anyways, back to the video. I've wasted so much time already. So Anime Vanguards update 1.5 was obviously Dandadan. Now look, Dandadan isn't like necessarily a weird choice, but it is a little bit weird given what they have said. They said they really want to avoid big animes, and like what's really big right now, Dandadan. So I don't know if Andrevius just kind of like spoke out of his ass a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I guess so. You know what I'm saying? The units that they brought to the table, I understand that at first, whenever I didn't have any, they were bad, and then they buffed them. Now look, I'm not gonna sit here and say like, oh, you guys are all wrong. But now I don't think that they're too bad. We still got people saying that like Okarun is like garbage tier. We got people saying that Puini is godlike. I don't know what it is with like, you know, ATD players and like the latching on to of bums. I can't really speak on Seiko or Mimi because I don't have either one of those guys yet. Instead, I've only pulled like a bunch of Okaruns, right? And 1 extra Puini, actually 2 extra Puinis. The first thing I really want to say, which is kind of like a bad point, but there's no like good or bad, it's just my thoughts really. I think that the Wisp system is okay, but the issue is really with the banners. Okarun has been the main guy right here like the whole time, and I understand that you guys are like, oh guys, look, it's Okarun, it's the main character. And then for 2, I understand that, but at the same time, it makes no sense that Okarun the entire time has a higher pull rate than either of these guys. Like really. I understand Miku being at 2.7%, that's fine, leave that as is, right? But Momo and Puini too, there's gonna be so many people who just pour and like dump a bunch of like Wisps into this update, and they never get Momo or they never get Puini because they didn't want to make Puini or Momo the featured unit. It would be as easy as just rotating them out every hour, not including Miku, of course. Another thing that is also weird too is that Diavolo is a new rarity and he's only in this banner. I understand that because you guys obviously want to push out the Wisp, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, buy Wisp, buy Wisp. Okay, I 100% understand that, but also I feel like it's just a little bit too early in the game for like a new rarity of unit. Like I get that this is like, okay guys, well look, it's a limited banner, blah 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 blah. That's cool and all, but you could have easily made Diavolo just another secret unit. He did not have to be on a tier of his own. I don't know because I haven't played with Diavolo yet. Maybe he really is that crazy, like that good, but it's just like for right now, it just seems a little bit weird and like out of place, especially with the main way of getting Wisp taking so long for almost so little reward. Like you really have to sit here and like grind it, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying I don't like the grind, I love the grind, you know what I'm saying? But it's just, I don't know, dude. It's like after this, is Diavolo ever even gonna come back? Because that seems more like exclusive, you know what I mean? I mean, of course we have next limited banner, but like who's to say that the next Vanguard unit is going to be Diavolo, you know what I'm saying? What if it's only like 1 per, you know? I doubt that they're gonna really just have like, okay, well here's like 8 Vanguard units on a limited banner like come next year. during Christmas time again. But I just don't know how I truly like really feel about it. I don't like the fact that this is like stagnant. It really is just, it's turning me off to the idea of even really summoning, because whenever I do get an exclusive, it's almost every time Okaroon. And it's like, okay, you know, main character syndrome, blah, blah, blah. But that's just bullshit, in all honesty. And if you guys are gonna operate like that, then you guys need to have like, okay, well, these are like the 3 or 4 mythics that will always appear in the side, on the middle, and then the rest will always appear on the side. Because it just makes no sense to do that, to like have everything rotate over here, but over here on the limited banner, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, you can have people even like buy like, oh snap, like Momo's main on the banner, let me go ahead and buy 25,000 Wisp. But I mean, that's not really like that big of like a talking point. I do think that the Wisp shop is great. I do think that the Wisp shop is great. I mean, it didn't have like rerolls and stuff, but even beforehand, I mean, honestly, you really didn't need too much in here. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, the option to have trait rerolls is such a like god tier, and especially 200, like that's a lot of trait rerolls. Free to play too, by the way. One more thing I do just want to say is that honestly, I don't mind having Granny Psycho be an exclusive unit at 1.5%. But having it like 30 minutes, every 30 minutes, like to know whether or not you pulled Psycho, like that just seems so like weird to me, because you have to, for one, it's not like she's like a boss drop or whatever, so obviously it's unmacroable, which I don't mind this being unmacroable because it's a fun stage. If you're gonna make anything unmacroable, make it fun, you know what I'm saying? Which they have been doing a pretty decent job at doing, you know. Everything that I would consider like unfun to do for like all night, overnight, has been macroable, and this is the one thing in the game that really isn't macroable, but it's the most fun thing in the game, at least for me. But I think everybody should also share that sentiment because of the roguelike aspect. But if it's gonna take 30 minutes just to know, I feel like it wouldn't be too bad to increase the drop rate of Psycho, because Psycho is just, she's just Psycho at that point, you know what I mean? Like it's not like, I'm not asking for like a, oh, make it like a 10% thing, but every 30 minutes for a 1.5% drop, that's kind of nuts. And the Egress Blood Dungeon takes about 12 to 15 minutes, you know what I'm saying? And I think that the drop rate there is what, 2%? So it's like, yeah, like, well, what's wrong with 15 minutes? The thing about that is, though, is that normal raids are about 7 minutes. So it's just a blood dungeon or like a boss event taking twice that. It makes sense. That's just game feel, in my opinion. One thing I really do want to give them props on, though, because I feel like I have been like kind of crapping on them a little bit too much, is that I really do like the direction that they went with this update. I do like this infinite mode. I don't know why it's called an infinite mode. This one should really be called like a, I don't know, dog. It shouldn't be called inf, because this is not like an infinite mode. You don't get to go on forever. And if you're gonna call something an infinite mode, I feel like it would just make like sense to like at least let it go forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, and then have Granny Psycho be like a drop in the game off of like a turbo crab or something like that, you know what I'm saying? Instead of just being like, oh well, it's an inf, but actually no, it's not, because it's only 50 waves, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. But this game mode is absolutely fun. A lot of people have been saying that this is like a very pay to win like update, and it's like, I can understand like the sentiment a little bit. However, one thing that I will not understand is like, I don't get how it's so pay to win whenever they give you so much. 3,000 Wisp is only 20 rerolls, right? And that's another thing I do want to say. I feel like 1,500 for, oh my god, I've just been given, yeah, might as well just go strong. 1,500 rerolls for a multi-summon isn't bad. It's just the fact that 30 minutes for only 2, like, you don't even get that in, like, it doesn't even take you 30 minutes to really get that much out of a normal inf, you know what I'm saying? But Wisp as a system, just, they're not as bad as a lot of people tend to say that they are. But I can understand the grievances of being like, well, I don't want to spend 30 minutes just to not pull Psycho and just to not, like, get too many Wisp. You know what I'm saying? Because the big thing for this update really was Diavolo for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Dandadan is still a very slept on anime at the moment, but it's very popular at the same time, if that even makes any sense. I say that to say that Dandadan has a lot of buzz going on around it, but like to a lot of the people who are like, oh well, shonen, which are also a lot of the people who come and just play these ATD games because they just want to see their favorite shonen protagonists do shonen battle protagonist things in Roblox Tower Defense. They really sleep on Dandadan because Dandadan has like a lot of shoujo. It might be shoujo, but I forgot. Really, I say that all to say, it's just like a lot of romantic aspects in it, and you know, obviously a lot of dude bros feel, I don't know, insecure about themselves whenever they watch shows like that, I guess. Now, even though a lot of the content is locked behind Wisp, which is like, yeah, I get that. Like, it's the new thing. Go player game, genius. A lot of people have also said, and like, a lot of people have also been like, oh, well, I don't really want to play this game. I mean, why would they make this random? It's not that it's random, genius. You're playing a roguelike game mode. Like, enjoy the game. Like, enjoy the game for 5 seconds. Blitzed! But a cool thing that they did add in this update are skins. I like that they added skins not just for, and it pissed me off at first, and it still does make me very, very, very upset. I like that they added skins for rare units too. AA did that too, and I'm not saying that like, oh well, you know, no ATD game has ever, like, no, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that it would have been so easy to just skip over them. You know what I'm saying? But I'm glad that they gave Gon and Killua some suits. Nezuko got a skin too for whatever reason. But all in all, I just really like a lot of the skins. Like, honestly, they really did the damn thing, man. They got Miku over here. They got, look at this Eager skin. Like, this is raw. Like, this is tough, man. And I'm on low graphics mode. They also added familiars. How do I feel about familiars? They're just kind of a nothing burger. I get that they kind of help out a lot with like, oh, well, now in a thing, you will, if you match the natures, you'll get even more damage. And it's like, okay, that's cool and all, but in all reality, but I don't ever really play with anybody who has familiars on them. And it's like, there's no way that you've been grinding it and you don't have a familiar, my G. Like, what? Like, what are we talking about? Whenever you introduce something that's not really too strong, it's really just for like minute, it's really just like a very minute power up. Of course, not too many people are gonna use it because it's like, okay, well, I don't really have to necessarily worry about that. And it's like, yeah, you don't. That's totally fine. Like, you are totally valid for thinking that. You don't have to. In all reality, you really don't. But yeah. Now, this update has been pushing my agenda quite a bit because it's not even an agenda when you're right. It's not an agenda. I said before in many videos, you guys can go back and watch them and watch those ads too, that Anime Vanguards is going to be an anime tower defense game that is not just a, oh, well, just place your units down and that's about it. You know what I'm saying? It is going to put you in situations and it's going to give us more game modes and more units where you have to think a lot more with your head. And yes, that is indeed what is going on right now, especially with this game mode. And I think that, especially with the infinite, and I think that's why like a lot of people kind of don't like it, because it's kind of, and this is like no hate on ASTD, AA, any other tower defense game, but in all reality, what other tower defense games were you sitting there and thinking this hard? And don't you dare say Anime Adventures. Anime Adventures was dead ass just a, I'm going to put my unique guts right here, and I have Griffith in the back buffing us. Gulp. It's not like it was that, like, it wasn't that, let's be honest, that it wasn't that crazy, y'all. Especially here, like, in this is like the first time that I've seen an ATD have a roguelike game mode. Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what I would have like expected out of a roguelike mode for an anime tower defense game. One thing I would like though is that if they added a lot more starting cards, or if they added like just more like, oh, well, you gain 100% of currency but you lose like 10% damage or something, stuff like that, to really make it so like, okay, well, we're just going for Wisp, you know what I'm saying? Because I have noticed that whenever I try to grind in like random lobbies with people, they are like, oh, why are you guys going dodge 5 every time? And they're like, we're doing this for Wisp. And it's like, nobody plays this game because they like the units. Actually, they just play the game for just strong things. You only want the best of the best. That is nuts to me. I'm not really sure I have too much else to say. I mean, this update hasn't really brought too much to the table. I guess I can talk about like, this update hasn't really brought too much to the table. I really just hope that the Wisp stuff does stick around until like January or something, because I don't want them to update 2.0 and I still haven't gotten a single Mimi, I still haven't gotten a single Psycho, and it's like, ugh, you know what I mean? I'm a collector. I like collecting things, you know what I'm saying? So I hate whenever I see people just be like, well, Psycho isn't like meta, so I don't need her. No, genius, you need her because she's fun to have in your account. It's fun to get the units. And if you're just sitting here like, I just want the best of the best, that's why you don't enjoy anything. You don't enjoy the game. I'm not really sure I have too much else to say about this update. All in all, how do I really feel about the update? I guess like a TLDR version, if somebody wants to clip this and like post it everywhere so they don't have to watch the entire video, like I'm fine with that. I like the update, but it has its flaws. But the update doesn't feel like anything too off from something that you would find in Anime Adventures. So that's another thing too. This is a very Anime Adventures type of grind, and there's so many people complaining about it. Like, is this not the game you guys have been sitting here begging for the past year? Please bring back AA. The moment, the second the game gets a little bit too close to what AA used to be. This is the worst thing. Like, you know, that's a whole separate video on its own. But a lot of you guys really don't know what you want, and that's just the reality of the situation. They need to fix this too, by the way. Like, what is this? Why is he T-posing? I do like the press it modifier. I think that this is very fun ability, but one thing they need to do is, like, they need to make it so if Gojo's void cooldown is like super duper low and you have it on auto, it just does it like, oh my gosh, I am going for Wisp. It just does it like automatically either way. You know what I'm saying? So that way it's not like a, oh well. I don't really have too many complaints. I like the update. I've been playing the update very like vigorously. A lot of people have been like saying like, oh my god, like you're so active in the game. And I'm like, what, huh? Like I will like queue up with people and I'll be like, okay, can we please get like the win because I'm trying to go for Granny Psycho. And they're like, oh my god. Like sometimes they don't know who I am and I'm like, okay. I've gotten like a lot of people making fun of me too, like you're probably a phony content creator. Like, yeah, I did not meet the requirements. I got in because of my content being good. I didn't get in because of my numbers doing well, which I mean, I would argue is better. But I've even gotten people be like, oh my god, you're a Kudo, like you're so like in tune to the community. Like, what are you doing playing with us? And I'm like, what do you mean? What am I doing playing with you guys? I have to grind too. So it's just been a very big learning experience. Just being within the community this time around, especially for like an update like this that really is like a, oh, we all gotta grind, guys, we all gotta grind. But other than that, I really don't have too much else to say. The update didn't really add too much, so yeah, I guess that's really it. If you guys want to, you guys can leave a like, a comment, and you know, you guys can subscribe as well. I know that this video was like a lot more laid back, chill, you know what I'm saying. I'm probably only gonna put one music track in there, you know what I'm saying, but I do like the update. By the way, I am going to be streaming a lot more too. A lot of you guys do like my streams and stuff, so I will like to say thank you guys so much for tuning into the streams and stuff. I'm glad that we can all vibe out and rock out together. Other than that, join the channel, I guess, if you want to, you know what I'm saying. You get added on Roblox. I'm probably gonna have to end up unadding a lot of my old friends, but I mean, but thank you guys for watching the video. It was a bit of a yapper. It's a bit of a yap session. I just felt like I needed to put something out because honestly, I feel a little bit bad because I haven't been able to get the new units, and it has been like messing with my mental a little bit because it's like, oh my god, I'm the one that's supposed to, you know, be out here like, okay, well, this is how I feel about this unit, this is how I feel about that unit, from like a very objective and like a very like average Joe kind of standpoint, you know what I'm saying. I don't have monarchs. You know, the craziest thing that I've ever had was ethereal Sukuna, and we know how I feel about Sukuna. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and finish this up. I guess I'll probably just I'm just gonna go ahead and finish this up, you know, and you know, who knows, maybe I'll pull Granny Psycho. So I guess I'll let you guys watch. Oh, real quick, have you guys been watching Arcane? Like, genuinely, do you guys want me to do an Arcane review? Now let's see. Yeah, no Psycho. Well, guys, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you disliked it. Please join my channel. Other than that, I will see you in the next ones. Bye bye. I'm gonna get back to hopelessly grinding for Psycho.